Well, hello again. I'm Bill Russell, and we have another edition of Around the Lake. Today we have Diane Schwab, and Diane is with Charlotte Plantscapes. And Diane, I met you at the Business Expo. I think that's really when I got to meet you. You were one of our exhibitors there. You had all these beautiful plants there. Share with us, though, what is Charlotte Plantscapes?
Okay, so Charlotte Plantscapes is the leading interiorscape firm in the Charlotte region that we offer custom tropical plant designs, and we have guaranteed plant service programs. We also do exterior seasonal planter displays, and then we have a division for holiday decor where we set up trees and wreaths and homes and offices and hotels for the holiday.
And do you have a bricks and mortar location that folks come out and see, or do you go to their business, or what?
Okay, so we do have an office warehouse in Charlotte. We're located in Charlotte in the North End, but generally we are going to the customers, either their house or their office or wherever their facility is, because they buy the plants from us, and then our service division is the one that goes in and takes care of the plants every week.
And what do you consider your target market for Charlotte Plantscapes?
Actually, we've kind of do everything. We're high-end residential for sure for the Lake Norman area and Charlotte. But we do hotels, we do corporate buildings. We go after the mid-size office buildings that are owned by people like MSC and Davidson. We do their plants.
Right.
But almost we service everybody. Hospitality, we're in a lot of restaurants. There really is probably not much area that it's where anybody would want to have plants.
Diane, how did you get into that?
Well, actually, I became a nurse for my dad because that's what he wanted. And so I got into nursing, liked the nursing, but there was no money in it. And so then I decided I might as well go back and get a business degree because I knew I was going to change careers. And I have this passion for plants. So I did this business degree marketing plan for plants. And my professor, I got the A+, had to do the presentation. And so we're getting ready to celebrate 40 years on April the 1st. So obviously it's been a good thing.
So Diane, you actually like walk into the Chamber of Commerce and you go, Bill, you've got a rather drab office. This is what I recommend to really make it look nice. That's sort of along the lines?
Yes. And it's everywhere. People like plants, and especially since COVID, we do commercial and residential. Where the commercial was going down, that residential just went off the charts because people are now at their house. And so they were calling us up to do their homes. So that's what actually saved us, to be honest with you, because when COVID came around, hospitality went down, hotels went down, people weren't in their offices. So it was a very interesting, trying time. But there's 12 of us that work here, and I didn't let all employees stayed employed. So that's where I feel really good about that particular, but the business is everywhere, and Charlotte just keeps growing.
I don't know if you've been in my office, but when you come in here, there are two plants that I have in here, and both of them, my dad passed away in 2019. And as you can imagine, there were lots of flowers, but there were also a lot of plants. And my brother and sister and I, we took sort of some of the plants, and two of the plants are in this office, and I come in here every day, and I never failed to think about him seeing the plants. And so,
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the way people are with their plants. But we had one customer one time, because we go all the way down to Rock Hill in Fort Mill, South Carolina. So it was a lease program. So they decided, new boss came in, he wasn't going to let these guys have plants. So we had to come in and take all the plants out. I want you to know, 2 weeks later, we were back in there because all those guys were like, we want our plants back. So, because if you work in a small space, like right behind me, I've got plants sitting everywhere. It just warms it up, and it also cleans the air. Plants are actually beneficial to your health. So
people lease the plant. You'll recommend what to put in there, and you lease them the plants, and I guess take them out, but you make sure that they're always looking nice.
Yes. And most people actually buy their plants from us because that's actually a cheaper way. It's more efficient. And then they get the guaranteed plant service program. And so they don't ever pay for any more plants. So we just come in. If the plant needs to be replaced, it gets replaced. Most times it is because it ages out or if something happens. But I can say that our accounts that are 10, 20 years old look as good as the ones that are brand new.
And what do you enjoy most about your job?
I actually like the creativity part of getting to design interiorscapes. I'm huge for holiday, love holiday, just because it's outside the normal realm. But like we did American Tire last year, we did all their plants inside and out. It's fun to go in where everybody has their sterile environment, wherever it is, and we're enhancing it with live plants. And it just is. I consider us the finishing touch.
And your legacy business, I believe your daughter's taking over the business?
Yes, we're, as most interiorscape firms, 95% of them go to second generation. I have 3 children and 2 of them are actively in it. Christine is the vice president and my son actually runs the warehouse operations and that end. And then we have a couple other managers and everybody else is techies.
So it's a family business.
Yeah. And local and certified minority woman owned business. That's our main thing.
What do you enjoy most about Lake Norman?
I love my house. I love living on the water. I'm very water. I grew up in Miami, Florida. I've always been on the water. My parents had a place in the Keys, so we were always going to the Keys every other weekend. And I moved to Charlotte with my husband in the early 70s, mid 70s, and we raised our family here. So, and then I moved to the lake once the kids were gone, and he's gone now too. But and I live in this place that there's birds, there's plants, there's flowers. It's just nature, and I'm all about nature and water. I love water. I love boating, all that, and Lake Norman offers all of that.
As I mentioned, when you got started, you joined the chamber, I think sometime in the last year, got involved in the expo, started coming to the programs. What have you enjoyed most about getting involved in the chamber?
One is some very nice people. 2, I just went to the Winds this past week because they had asked me if I would come give them a raffle, and I couldn't believe how many women were there.
80 something.
It was unreal. I was like, so each of us, like I joined the Lake Norman Chamber and my daughter went to Charlotte. Yeah. So like since I live in Mooresville, it made sense. And I have already done the Charlotte Chamber before. So I decided to try something new. And I think that it just looks like it's going to be something that fits well for us.
Well, Diane, we're really grateful to have you involved in the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce. And we want to thank Joe Vagnone. He's the presenting sponsor of our Around the Lake, makes this program possible. But thank you for sharing a little bit about Charlotte Plantscapes with us.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
You too.